Punch, punch. And now fast and strong. Check the shoulder position, the position of the punch, the foot position. Try and make your moves match as closely to this as possible. Reverse punch now, chop and punch. Unfortunately we missed the first part of the chop on the first move, but you can see it clearly on the turns here. First the forward, the turn and the chop, and the punch. And now fast. You can see how the power that's put into the technique does not take away from the technique. The most important thing is the precision of the technique. Here we have side block. Notice the finish position of each block and the fold, the foot position, the head and shoulder position. And now fast and strong. Now we move to pseudo-marquee knife hand block. Again, the start there is a little bit glossed over, but hopefully on the fast illustration you can see better. Notice this is back stance. Now we have the fold, high up to the right before you start, before you move forward. Make sure that the weight is on the back leg in each stance. Here we have inside block. See how the palms are turned away, the elbows are kept down. The block finishes on the centre line of the body. We have Tsukiya-maki, rising block. It's worth noting here the angle of the blocking arm, the position of the hand, making sure that it covers both sides of the head. It's also worth making sure that your backhand is pulled as far back as possible onto the side of the chest. It's important to know which hand folds on top, to know which stance you're in, whether it's back stance or forward stance. Note the head and shoulder position. And this is the first ki punch here. Moving now to knife hand. And coming up for the second ki technique here. It's worth noting in Iljang, the first form, the hand that you use for the block or the punch folds on top in every instance, except for the fold that you perform after the second ki punch. So you start off with your left hand on top, and it's always the hand that's in front of you which folds on top in this kata until you get to the point of the second ki, which I'll point out in a moment. It's the first ki. And here comes the second ki, and this is the only time the backhand folds on top. And that's Iljang, first form. We move now to Yijang. Note the differences between forward and back stance. And here we come to the second ki technique in this kata. I'll point out the first one to you when Billy performs the kata fast. Here we go now then, faster. And here we come up for the first ki technique, there. And the second ki technique, here. And there you have Yijang, second form. Samjang. Unfortunately, we've missed the very first move. From go on, you fold your left hand on top and step into forward stance. Do downward block. This is the first ki here you're now seeing. Unfortunately, we've missed that first fold on both the slow and fast versions of the kata. Alright, now when you watch the fast version coming up next, remember the first fold is left hand on top, left leg out and downward block. Just catch the end of the downward block there. This is the first ki technique here. And the second ki technique coming up here. Step out with one leg. Make sure you don't move your right foot. First ki technique here. There's the second ki technique. Horse stance now, it's a new stance for you.